all provinces to Johannesburg. He was then responsible to collect them from Johannesburg to take them across. The report, or the number of all of us, including him, were actually 52. 3 Kumbis plus him, they were arrested in the evening. Our driver thought he was bright enough. He didn't follow the national road. He wanted to take shortcuts, and he got lost. So early in the morning, because we kept on saying, when are we arriving? Because we were told a few hours we'll be there. And he confessed he was lost. So he stopped in the morning. He said, guys, we can't go. We only drop people there at night, not during the day. And when he gave evidence in court, he said, we were like lions behind the Kumbi. We wanted to strangle him when he talked about us going back, because we wanted to go forward, because we were on our road to train abroad. That's what happens when we have not trained, when you think you know, when you don't know. Because the reason why the driving and crossing was in the evening, it was for good reasons, not during the day. But we said to this fellow, you are driving forward, find the road and go forward. And the poor fellow says, I had no alternative. He tried to say, look, my tank is leaking and my petrol is very small. We said, hey, find the garage. We will take out our money and fill up the car, and that's what we did. So by the time we came to this site, it was at about 11. Because we woke up, went to the garage, spent a bit of time. And when we were arrested here, the van was driving from the Pretoria direction, and they stopped us. And they came and said, yeah, where are you going? And we said we are going somewhere. Now, I'm telling you because after that, I was able to reach where I originally wanted to go and train, and realize how untrained we were. Because even what is called in the underground world, the legend, the story, that is not the real story. We didn't have. So we did not know we were in trouble until we were taken to Zerast for serious questioning. Didn't we say different things? Because there was no story that had been put together. And we were laughing when we were in Pretoria finally to say, yeah, we sold ourselves. Because we were put in the garage in Zeras, and then we were called one by one. And some were asked, yeah, where are you going? No, I'm going to buy some cattle this side. Where? You don't know a village. Others will say, no, we are a team. We are going to play that side. We are a team. Didn't you see that we are 11? And the other one will say, no, we are going to pay Lobola somewhere. So the stories were many. And we knew that men were in trouble. Because in terms of the rules, if you were going the route of MK, there must be a story that we all know, that we repeat, so that we don't make somebody suspicious. It brought us many lessons, the arrest here. For an example, we were given new names in Johannesburg before we left Johannesburg. Even then, we're not told you will only use this name after crossing. We are told from now on, you are, you are so and so. My name was Lucas Ntuli. So you believe that you have been told by the leaders from Joburg. So anybody who asks you now from Joburg, you are Lucas Ntuli. So you are asked here, what's your name? Lucas Ntuli. Lipalwe long. Man, and in no time, if they find a piece of paper in your pocket, as they found one in me, written Jacob Zuma, said, who is this one? So I said, no, why do you put a paper in my pocket and ask me? You just put this paper now, huh? I'm denying my name because the instruction is you are Lucas Ntuli. Serious. I'm just giving you snippets because I'm going to write a book with greatest details, including what happened, including when, because by the time we were now selected to leave, we already belonged to MK unit. Many. This was a mixed group. Some of the people here had been volunteers, and some were actually part of MK inside the country. There were some, because of the number, coming from different areas who have been recruited just afresh, but the majority were cadres of the ANC. And I had a discussion with my commanders when we're now deciding that I must leave to up the training. That will be in the book, because certainly I'm going to tell my story. Then we were on the Kumbi coming this side. When we were stopped, when we were taken to the police station and we were questioned, in the Kumbi, predominantly the majority of us could not speak any Tswana. Any. Only one fellow could speak Tswana. His code name was Pit Mahlangu. So we're sitting in that van, looking exactly. And this policeman was wondering. So he asked in Setswana, Evanna, where are you going? We are just coming from Pretoria. We arrested about 3 Kumbis and a small car in the evening. We've just dropped them in Pretoria. And we don't hear, we who did not understand Tswana. And Mahlangu could not keep quiet with this news. This is noise asking, where are you going? And we realized that the whole group was arrested. And of course, we were just one story. They were relaxed there at the police station. Because we got there, we sat there, we were hungry. Very hungry. We hadn't eaten, we'd last eaten the previous day. We were hungry, we were thirsty, we asked for water, they gave us. And when we left Johannesburg, in the home of my leader there, Ndade Tingake, he had come to check with us where we were staying. We were staying in his house. I think it was clearly an underground house. There was no child, there was no chicken, there was no mother. It was just us. Totally underground house. So when we were leaving, one of our comrades says, let us take bread. Now we think we get to Botswana, we are fine. Said, who? We? Bread, sorry. So he just took one loaf and kept it. So when we were sitting at 3-4-ish, We kept on looking at his bread now. All of us. And he pretended he's not looking at us. And somebody said, Munna, we're hungry, man. He says, no, I said we must carry bread. You guys said no. He said, keep your being gentlemen. It's your business. In any way. We're beaten up there one by one. And when we come back, we are not brought to others to tell them what is happening. We are separated. In any way, that was finished. We slept in one cell, all of us. We then said, man, they are relaxed. In the morning, let us all escape. Matota, Ibutswana Ingala. We just move to the fence. Whatever happens, if you cross, fine. There was one who was older in the group, Matthew Ntaba from Cape Town. We said to him, well, those amadola sethanda ukuqina nibalibazise nje mabe nibamba nibhuquze sibe sihamba thina. And when we woke up, they came in big numbers. They formed a corridor from the door to the door of the van, a corridor with every stick you can think of. So as we tried to get out, we realized, Manna, the police are here. You get back, they say, commit. And you realize you can't take a chance, except one fellow called Rautim Konas. He died, was it last year? Yeah, he died last year from Mpange. He was such a brave man. He saw a small gap between the police and went for it. And he was wearing an overcoat. When he was going to the gate, it was serious. They jumped and got hold of him. No one could take another chance. By the time they brought him back, we were already inside. He was a very clever fellow. So he had a very short neck. So they were holding him like this. And they thought it is here. It was just here. So they thought they got him. So when they pushed him and he went and he put his foot on the other, all sides of the door, open door, and pushed them back, shoop, and they all fell. He came back, he went in. So everywhere when we were going to Pretoria, they were stopping, putting petrol in police station. They say, hey, these are Springboks, watch. Say, hey, Mkwanas, you put us into trouble, eh? As a result, we went to a Marabastad police station. I'm telling you, we were beaten. Beaten and beaten and beaten. Firstly, when we came there, all the carrying sticks. And somebody speaks in Afrikaans, somebody interprets in Sesotho, we hear nothing. Only Pete Mashlangu helped us. Good day, they are saying, don't try to escape here. This is Pretoria. You don't play around. So, one fellow nicely trying to get out, Ogamkiz, when he just showed his head, Sakali Sakile Kanda. What he was Shamatot, was Shire. Sachigeleza kulia ven phakathi. Commit. Ngabuka lo route Mkwanas. For me to be safe, I must be closer to this fellow. Ngambone bambu chazi wakhe uthi elunga kanje. What bethi bashaya van waphuma. Ngamlandela eduze. One fellow who ended up really giving in was beaten here, just behind the ear, and a vein was cut into two. The blood was just what? Wavuka wabambala wacindezela sambamba ngesandla because we had nothing. And he was a very good theoretician. We were with him in the trade unions, in the party, everywhere. His understanding was very above. His understanding went zero. That day, what? But that was a story. And I've never forgotten this place because it was one of the happenings in my life that I'll never forget. When we were coming back, I was sent from Lusaka as the first person to lead a small delegation to start what was called Talk About Talks. We flew in directly to Jan Smuts Airport. And when I was going back, the information had leaked. So we said, because I was going back for 1 day to report and come back, so we agreed that I can't come to the public place. I will come quietly, fly to Botswana, and then they will fetch me at the airport. The police, who now have to protect me. In fact, I must say this, because on the day I was being taken to the airport, I was going to fly and come back, one young policeman sitting, two of us in the car, he looks me in the mirror, he said, "Mr. Zuma, life is something else." I say, "Why?" He said, "Just a few days ago, my instruction was that where I see you, I must arrest you. If you resist, I must shoot you." He says, "But today, I've been given instructions that if anybody comes next to you, I must die first before you die." Says instruction has changed. And when I was passing through this, police was fetching some documents at a police station in Zeerust. And he went in. When he came back, I said, "You know, you are giving me a serious problem because you are revoking my memory of many years. It is in this police station where I was first questioned." So this to me is an important one because, as I say, many of our comrades are no longer there to tell the story, how they felt on that day and what happened thereafter, because this was the beginning of a journey to Robben Island. So I would like to thank the province. I want to thank you more because
President Jacob Zuma has now officially launched the Groot Marico Heritage Site and the Liberation Heritage Route of Bokonebophirima. President Jacob Zuma telling interesting stories of his past as a struggle stalwart, talking about the time and the evening that he was arrested at this specific site, talking us through responsibility that he has to tell the story so people know the freedom that we are experiencing in this country did not come as easily as could be perceived, stating and talking about the tough decisions that brought about the freedom that is experienced in South Africa.